Hey Team Bullseye, welcome to another episode of On Target with the Bullseye Chief. I'm Chief Master Sergeant Schaefer, and with me today is Airman Toal. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
She is from AFE, so why don't you tell Team Bullseye a little bit about yourself. Why'd you join the Air Force? How'd you get to Nellis? What you've been doing on Nellis so far?
All right, so my name's Lacey Toal. I've been at Nellis for around, I want to say almost a year and a half, since January of 22. I wanted to join the Air Force because I wanted to explore, I wanted to travel. Ironically, I ended up a state away from where I grew up, but this is actually my first duty station. Can't be too mad about it. It's nice out here besides the heat, and the mission is very fun, honestly. AFE, there are a lot of AFE shops out here and a lot of squadrons. I have personally worked in 3. One of them is pilot's gear, helmet, harness, G-suit, night vision goggles, all that. And then packing the parachutes for the ejection seat aircrafts. And then recently in April, I went to a rigger school. So I got rigger certified, and now I pack for SEER, JTACs, stuff like that.
So let's expand upon that for people who may not know the significance of what you do. Being a TAC-P, I understand packing parachutes for people jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah.
Pretty big deal that you pack it right?
Yes, sir.
But you mentioned ejection seats, and something that stands out to me are there are times where I know some kind of notice or notum comes out about something they found in the ejection seat, and you guys have to pull all the seats out and repack everything. I don't know if you want to expand upon that, just so they have an understanding of some of the stuff you do.
I definitely can. So if paperwork is messed up, the smallest detail on paperwork, they can pull it off a jet. Now, that doesn't just affect us. That affects us. That affects egress. That affects maintenance, crew chiefs, all the way down to it will ground the jet. So if one number is off or it is a number that is very, very important, it will ground the jet entirely. Pilots won't fly. Even in my other shop, if a piece of gear is messed up, something happens, immediately it has a possibility to ground the jet, which in turn messes up the training, the schedules, and it's just, you gotta be on your A game. And I mean, packing parachutes, when we packed for SEER, that's a little stressful. All of our special warfare, because you see them, you talk to them, you hand them this backpack and say, here, go jump. And it's a little stressful, but I love it. It's fun.
That's awesome. So Lacey mentioned what it could impact, the second and third order effects, and just to show, so first duty station.
Yes,
first
sir.
duty station. This, I'm going to assume you came out of high school. How old are you?
High school, yeah. I came out of high school,
joined.
a little bit of firefighting, came here.
All right. Oh, a little bit of firefighting.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And here she is, affecting a mission. If you grounded an aggressor jet, that's lines that don't get to service red flag and weapons school to provide that high-end training. It really is a very, very big impact. And the fact that the Air Force trains and trusts and empower young airmen who just came in, because and then brings you up to that level, right?
Yeah.
And you're completely, you mentioned you feel a little nervous handing that parachute over, but it makes it real, and it shows you how you're tied to this immense mission and how much power you really have as a young person in our force. That always strikes me as an amazing, when you get to work with foreign militaries, it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
It's not, they don't have that same level of empowerment that we have. So I think that's awesome to be able to hear that from your mouth. If you'd like to expand upon that, what is the most interesting or unique or even scary moment of your time here doing your jobs at the 57th Wing?
Oh, I think there's always a possibility that a pilot will eject. Now, in the shop, or one of the shops that I'm in right now, packing those parachutes, it's an emergency kind of fallback plan. And I went from seeing my pilots every day and handing them their gear to not seeing them at all. So you kind of have that disconnect of like person to jet, because you think, oh, this is going on a jet. Of course we're going to pack it the best first time. That's just how it is. You don't have a choice. You are always on your A game no matter how your day is going. You have to be on your A game. It's a parachute. And then going to the rigging side, which is my personal favorite side of AFE. There's a lot to do in AFE, and rigging is my absolute favorite. That side, it makes it more real, and then it goes even further than that. Because, again, you are handing them a chute and saying, here, jump and trust me as someone. I mean, the sign off are like the process to get signed off is very rigorous sometimes, but it should be. It's very fun. But I think rigging is my favorite side for sure.
Who has brought back the worst condition chute back to you?
Oh no.
You don't have to drop a name. Just
I won't name drop. I've only been in that shop personally for a little bit, on and off, because I work in both depending on the week. I know that, and I apologize, Attack V.
I knew
that
it.
yeah,
I
Attack
knew
V that was jumping with our seer guys. I don't know what unit. I don't know where from. I wouldn't say anyways, but our boys, thankfully, will daisy chain their chutes, put them in kind of nice-ish, you know. Of course, some are going to come back rough. It's just how it is. That one, it did not get daisy chained that well. I heard it was very fun. We have to take it to the tower and hook it up all the way and then unspin it and find everything. But other than that, it wasn't damaged, so everything was fine. But I think that's the worst one that they have seen recently.
yeah.
But yeah, it was Attack P. I'm sorry.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
It happens.
Okay, so before we wrap this thing up, one of the efforts of this podcast is to showcase to the wider 57th Wing individual airmen and their jobs and what they do and their impressions of what they do and how they tie to the mission, so that it can connect those airmen to each other.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell a truth here that I don't know anyone knows, but I didn't even know what AFE was until maybe because I was always on Army posts in a GSU, and we didn't rig our own chutes. We got them from the Army, and I didn't know what AFE was until maybe I was a senior master sergeant.
Wow, that's impressive.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Because I didn't get stationed like doing an Air Force job.
Yeah, it was more Army.
Until then, it was all Army stuff.
Yeah.
So let's flip that. If I could pick you up out of AFE and drop you into any other job in the 57th Wing, what job would that be and why?
Honestly, I would have to go with intelligence, which for the 57th Wing is kind of a fun one because it's more of the training aspect, but they still have very much intelligence gathering. It's just something that I like personally, and I think it'd be fun to see, especially the planning that goes into all the missions and trainings and stuff like that. The intelligence side gets to see, which is, I think that would be very fun.
That could be arranged.
Yeah,
We
that
got a
would
thing
be
called
fun.
Nellis Navigator, and we'll probably reach out to you at some point and that's exactly what Nellis Navigator does. It goes, you want to go learn what they do in air traffic control? Let's go up in the tower, and you do it with them for a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, you learn because it's eye-opening. It really is eye-opening what people do. When I got to work with weapons and load weapons, or work with MUNs and build weapons, or the firefighters or whatever, it's you think you know what they do, but you don't know what they do. Just like nobody knows what riggers do on a day-to-day, right? Unless they've been through it and seen it. So I'll throw that offer out to you. We'll keep you in mind for that.
That would be fun.
But again, thank you for sharing your story and coming on our podcast. I hope you got something out of it. I certainly did. I did, 100%. Seeing the sheer scale of how big it is insane. Great. Okay, so unless you have any parting words for Team Bullseye, we'll wrap this up. I don't think I do, sir. Okay, thank you for your time. Team Bullseye, thank you, and until next time.